any secret. It's not any special supplement. It's not some special program that someone's selling you that says you need to fix your hormones. It's like doing the shit every single day. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Lisa. I'm a women's online fitness coach helping you make your 30s the healthiest, happiest, and hottest decade of your life so far. So today we have a mic'd up chest day that we are going to go hit. I'm excited for this workout. Today is day 6 of the gym in a row, which I normally take rest days, but my schedule's been a little wonky. Tomorrow for sure is going to be a rest day. The next day I think for sure is going to be a rest day. I've got some work I need to catch up on. And the other day I hit a new low on the scale. And if you watched some of my previous videos, I am not on a weight loss journey. I am more just on getting into the best shape that I've ever been. I've lost almost 20 pounds since August 2024. It is May 2025, and I haven't done anything crazy or drastic. I realize I'm a women's coach. This is my job, but life happens. I went through a lot the last few years, gained weight, blah, 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 same old story. You see all these influencers and stuff, and they make it look easy, and they make it look like they never struggle and they never gain weight, but life is life, and shit happens, and sometimes we have to cope with things in certain ways, and we'll talk about it when we get inside. So let's go hit this chest day. Cheers. Also, side note, I look like I got some free lip filler. I went golfing yesterday and I got a little sunburnt on the top of my lip. So my lips are looking a little extra luscious today. I'll see you guys inside. All right. So we are starting with push-ups. And using the Smith machine for incline push-ups is super helpful because you can adjust it based off of your ability level. So basically, the higher the bar is, the easier it's going to be because it's removing some of your body weight versus the lower the incline, the more body weight, the harder it's going to be. So you start wherever you need to. And as you get stronger week by week, you can lower the bar until you're able to do regular push-ups. All right, and here's it from behind so you can kind of see. So you want your feet or your hands about shoulder distance apart. You want your body straight, right? Like a board. Down, press up. But I'm not wearing an oversized t-shirt today. That doesn't happen often. I think one thing that is really hard with fitness, weight loss, is like that body dysmorphia like really hits you hard sometimes. And so even though I'm down almost 20 pounds, I still struggle with feeling like I'm in a different body, or sometimes I'll see imperfections and feel like I need to hide them, etc., etc. All things that we have dealt with. But I said we would talk about my personal fitness, weight loss, all that good stuff. And I think the first time I ever did a diet was the summer before 8th grade, because I was a chunky kid. Like I wasn't up until 2nd grade. And then my dad got stationed in Korea. And it was just me and my mom. And I put on weight and I became a chubby kid, even though I was always playing sports and stuff. We've got some incline dumbbell chest press. And remember in the other video that I did, how to get those dumbbells up, right? You use those knees, pop, down, press. Not going below 90 degrees. Squeezing your chest together in the center. Yeah, the first time I ever did a diet, I was, 12, 13? And me and my parents did the Mediterranean because, my mom was a little chubby in high school and she didn't want me to go through that as well. So that was the first intentional. And I think I lost 20 or 25 pounds within starting that and then starting high school. So between that summer and like eighth grade, right before high school. So I started high school tiny. Like I was 105 pounds. I'm also 5'1", so I'm very small, but I was 105 pounds starting my freshman year. I was like a size 0. I was so excited about it because prior to that, my mom's always been very small when I was growing up. So she was always like a size 0, 2, very tiny. And when I was at my heaviest, I think it was like an 11 or 13 in juniors, being a middle schooler. So not not great. But being a size 0, I kind of felt like, I accomplished something. And then like during high school, like I didn't really stress about weight very much. I was just like playing sports all year round, club sports, going to dance. I kind of was that teenager that could eat whatever. And I slowly gained weight over high school, but I think I was 125, 130 when I graduated. And then I got to college, and that was when a lot of the real issues started because I was petrified of gaining the freshman 15 that everyone warns you about. So I got real obsessive with cardio and abs, as well as like restricting my food massively. I remember I told one of my professors that I had been dieting and eating like 800 calories a day. And I was so proud of myself, which is so crazy because that is so unhealthy. But I was so scared to gain weight that I felt like that's what I had to do. Sorry, it's looking like I dropped Skittles. But anyways, so I didn't gain the freshman 15, but I did develop some very unhealthy habits because of it. And over the next few years, I slowly gained weight during college without realizing it, because I think that obsessive stuff lasted like my freshman year. And then after that, it kind of like wore off a bit. I kind of didn't care anymore. I was not in the healthiest relationship at the time. So I remember my boyfriend's mom at the time called me healthy, which is a really nice way of saying someone's gained weight or they're not thin or skinny, which, it is what it is. It's fine. I really need to get some more Botox. I like to look frozen, and it's been about 6 months, 7 months. So I need to call a dermatologist. I have one I'm going to call for this red spot on my nose. That's like, it's been there for a year and I can't get rid of it. So I don't know if it's something that needs to get cut off or if she can prescribe me something. But I also need to get some Botox. I want to get some Botox. How about that? I don't need to. I don't think you have to. I just feel more comfortable with it. But yeah, by the time I graduated, I think I was 130, 135. Again, not big by any means, but my body composition was not great. I've always just had kind of an awkward shaped body. So, you know, I did not look the way I wanted. I always wanted to be a tall, thin blonde because I think that's what was sold to me as a teenager when we were in that ultra skinny, model skinny sort of mindset. Where like every single magazine was like, lose 10 pounds in 5 days and look like this, or this person, that whole Jessica Simpson phase when they called her fat and she was like a size 6. Like, that's what was stuck in my mind. But once I graduated, I met my now ex, who was super into bodybuilding, weightlifting, all that good stuff. And literally, that meeting him and that basically just changed the entire trajectory of my life. Because once I met him and I found out who Daniel and Bailey is, I felt like I no longer had to try to fit into this 5'10" blonde box, and like there was a space for someone like me. And then that started an entire new cycle of body dysmorphia, trying to look a certain way. Like it was a blessing ultimately, but it didn't fix the issues I had. It just kind of shifted them into a different perspective. Remember, with these, we're working our chest, not our shoulders. We're squeezing the center of our chest on each rep. But anyways, body shape. Remember, I'm 5'1". My torso is maybe this big, like bottom of ribs, top of hips. I have long legs for how short I am. Can't do short or petites. Like they're too short on me, but I'm not tall enough for all the regular stuff. I have a wide back and I have a very wide waist. Like no matter how much weight I lose, I'm size 6 for the most part because this is just like where my waist is. So like I have to wear high rise and then cropped to make it look like I have a waist and I have some shape because I don't. And then I've always had thicker thighs, thanks to my dad. And I had no booty, which we worked really hard to grow what we've got. And I got no calves. And I hold all my extra weight midsection, low back. So my back is probably the biggest insecurity that I have when it comes to my physique because it's like the last place that I lose weight. So even though I'm down 18, 19 pounds, that's still the area I don't like showing. So I feel very uncomfortable. And the thing is, like, I preach body positivity and like I love my body 100%, but there's still areas that I would like to see change, and I'm working on that. I started weightlifting 5, 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. I put on muscle fairly quickly, and I realized like I could eat more. So that was like probably the best part of it. But then I kind of went to the extreme of that because my ex at the time could eat crazy amounts of food, build muscle, and still have a 6 pack and be lean. And so I felt like I could do the same. But granted, I mean, eating all that food helped me build the muscle, but it also made my weight fluctuate a ton because I was like overeating. And then I would do like different programs from coaches. The first program I ever did, I think I lost like 10, 15 pounds in a month, which is crazy. But I was eating the same shit every single day. Like it was a prep diet, basically. And to this day, I cannot eat 99% lean ground turkey, sweet potatoes, green beans. Like I can't eat any of those 3 things because they will make me want to vomit. Sometimes I can do sweet potatoes, but it depends on how they're prepped. Just plain roasted, oven roasted, can't do it. Makes me want to vomit. Like I went through a lot of phases. So I went through phases where I was like in impeccable shape. Got to a point where I was like doing pull-ups, which was a big goal of mine, pull-ups and dips. And that was, I think it was 27-ish. And I was tracking macros, but I was extremely obsessive and like would only have a cheat meal once a week. And I struggled with a lot of binging during that time because I was so restrictive. And then I also would be at the gym for like hours and hours at a time. So I had become a little too obsessive. And then I'd go into a phase where I'd be like, F tracking, I know what I'm doing. I don't need to do this. And then I would go to the extreme opposite. So like my heaviest was 168. And then my lowest was like 137. So it was like over the last, how old am I? 33, 6, 7 years. It's been like constant highs and lows, constant highs and lows. because I'd get back on it, like a lot of us say, and lose a bunch of weight. And then I'd say, okay, I've done enough work. I'll take a break and then, balloon back up. And then when I was going through my divorce, like that was a ton of fluctuations because I was having those things going on. And then also the gym that I was working at, I'm not going to get into details, but we had a big falling out basically. And so I was no longer training in person anymore. It kind of happened rather quickly. And I transitioned all to online. And so it was like I was losing my marriage. I lost the job that I'd worked so hard for 5 years of like building the training program in that gym. And so it was a very hard time for me. And I just kind of stopped eating. And I lost, I don't know, 10 pounds rather quickly. Felt really good. And I was still in the gym every day, but my nutrition was just like, I didn't want to eat. And then I'd start tracking again. And then I'd stop tracking. And then I'd start binging. And then it was a whole thing for like 2-3 years. Or again, I think the lowest was 150. And then my heaviest was 168 during that time. So, like, that's a 20-pound difference on a small person. And it happened a bunch. So, it's always been, the gym has never been the issue for me. It's always been the food relationship, which I know is most people's problem. And I just constantly felt like I'm just not this person that craves healthy food. I don't know how they do it. Like that's what I want to be, but I just like couldn't do it. Right? I like food too much. I always told myself that. I like food too much. I like good food too much. I can't commit to being this super ultra healthy person that I wanted to be because food is important to me. And then I met my friend Stacy. And I'll tell you about Stacy when we get to the next exercise. Then I met my friend Stacy, who is one of the most incredible people. So Stacy, and I've told her all of this, so she knows how much she's impacted me, but she's mid 40s and one of those people that just like shines from the inside out. Like you just want to be in her presence. And she is that person that takes her health and fitness extremely seriously, but not for the sake of like weight loss or anything like that, but because she respects herself enough to do it. And that was kind of like, sorry, this is very boobylicious right now too. But she went to my gym and I started following her on social media. We hadn't really met yet. And then we ran into each other. Somehow we met. And then she started going to Uflex, which is a gym that I had gone to years before. I messaged her a little bit here and there, and she was holding an event at Uflex. It was like a women's day thing, and she's all about that, like women empowerment, being a girl's girl, all that stuff. And she invited me, and I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I know I need to be surrounded by people that are like-minded, that want to better themselves. I was going through my divorce, so I was very much isolating myself. Didn't really talk to anybody. The gym was the only time I really left my house or to go see my parents, who didn't know I was going through the divorce. So I kept it very low key. But she invited me, and I was like, you know what? Step out of your comfort zone, Lisa. Let's go to this event. Let's meet some people. Let's try out Uflex again, because they had moved to a new facility, like a much bigger warehouse. And I was like, get over your fears and just go do it. And so I did. And I hung out with her and a few of the other girls and decided, all right, I'm going to join Uflex because in order to get better, you need to be surrounded by people that are better than you. And so I did. And we worked out together several times. She taught me a lot as well. And she just inspired me, motivated me, and made me see that you can have both. Like you can be this holistic, wellness centered person, still enjoy life, still enjoy girls' nights, still enjoy a cocktail. And basically, since August of 2024, when I just kind of was tired of my own shit and decided, like, when I was just like tired of my own shit and decided, like, we're gonna fucking do this for real, she was a huge part of that. I just said, Lisa, get your shit together. Like, not only is this your job, but like, you are a reflection of the life that you live, the life you choose to live. And I've always been, that's one thing that I've struggled with is I'm a really, really good fucking coach. And I know that. Like, I'm not being arrogant. I know I am. But I just really struggled doing those things in my own life. So in August, I was like, we're not doing this to lose weight. We're not doing this to look a certain way. We're basically just going to focus on health. And like the results are, there. I've been tracking consistently. I eat very well 90% of the time. Gym 4 to 6 days a week, depending on how busy I am. Movement outside of the gym, all the basics you hear about. It's not any secret. It's not any special supplement. It's not some special program that someone's selling you that says you need to fix your hormones. It's like doing the shit every single day and not getting arrogant at a certain point saying, I got this, and quitting doing basic shit. All right, we're going to finish with some kettlebell chest press, single arm, and some narrow push-ups or Cobra push ups to work on triceps. But this, I hate to call it a journey because, it's so overused, but like this, the last 10 months have been extremely transformative for me mentally. I stopped looking at tracking macros as like, how much shit can I get away with? How much crap food can I put in my diet and still hit my macros and still see progress? And I started looking at it as how can I feel my body in the best way possible? How can I give it what it deserves to make it function as good as possible, as well as possible? And I really think that's what's made a significant difference. Now, am I saying I'm perfect? Absolutely not. I still struggle with things. So when you're doing a single kettlebell chest press, you're not out to the side. You're kind of in at an angle. Your wrist is strong. You're pressing up through the chest, down, up through the chest, and your lower back is flat on the floor. So you might have to angle your hips or tuck your hips up just slightly. It's going to protect your back. But it hasn't been perfect. But this is the best I've ever felt physically, mentally, and just happy with the journey and not feeling like every day is a constant struggle of fighting myself. It feels like everything just clicked. And like I go on date nights, I love to eat. Your girl loves good food. So like I go out to eat. I skip the gym occasionally. But the word that I want you to think about for yourself is intentional. Because that's the thing that I teach all my clients. You have to be intentional. You don't just accidentally reach your goals. You don't just accidentally eat healthy. You don't just accidentally walk into the gym. Like you have to be intentional with your choices. And every day you have a choice. You have to start having a lot of conversations with yourself of saying, is it worth it? Do I need this? Do I choose this? How is this going to impact me? Have I been consistent enough to make this choice? And then you have to stop thinking, if I mess up or if I have a fun weekend or whatever, it's all ruined and I have to start over. Like, weight loss fitness is so much mindset more so than anything else. And so if your mindset's fucked, everything else is going to get messed up too. So, all right, we got Cobra Push Ups. So we're going to have our hands narrow, down. So essentially, that's what I teach my clients is you need to ask yourself a series of questions. One, is it worth it? Is this particular thing worth it? And my mindset, my framework is if it's something like we're in a society where we can get anything we want whenever we want, right? So if it's a fucking cookie from the grocery store, there's nothing special about that, right? Like it's not a unique, special, fun thing. But if it's your grandma's cookies that you only get once a year, enjoy the cookie. Like to me, that's worth it. Going to grab fast food to me is not worth it. I think most of it tastes like garbage and it's way too overpriced. But trying a new KBB place or a new matcha place or whatever, like that to me is now worth it because that's something unique and different that I don't get on a daily basis. That's how I look at food and when I decide what's worth it, what's not, etc. You can come this way if you're good. Yeah, you're good. You're fine. The next question you want to ask yourself is, have I been consistent enough for this thing? So if you've been eating like shit consistently, this thing probably isn't worth it, right? It's not YOLO every day. That's what we have to understand. The next question to ask yourself is, do I need this for my mental health? Sometimes the answer is yes, 100%. And that's okay too. But you really got to learn to start trusting yourself and your choices and stop thinking it's like, how much shit can I just get away with or fit in? That defeats the whole purpose. And if you're only looking at healthy food or like eating healthy and exercising as a way to lose weight, well, then you're going to struggle staying consistent. Thanks so much for hanging out today during our chest day. I hope you learned a few things, you got a few takeaways, and you realize that we're not that different. Even as a coach, I have struggled with a lot of things when it comes to my health and fitness journey. So remember, you are not alone. You are not the only person that feels that way you feel or are struggling with something. We all are going through this journey together. So thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next one.